Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome to my Man vs. Minecraft Season 4, Day 14. That's the finale, making of video. So this is kind of the behind-the-scenes setup, if you will, where I spend a little bit more time on these episodes, the season premiere and the season finales, to basically dress things up to try to usher out the old season and bring in the new. So I've spent a little time typically just putting up props and setting up the backstory, etc. So if you recall, this is where day 14 ended on season 3, where Wilson and I crashed out here in the hot air balloon, boom, into this water, and then we swam over here and came into this grotto, and I had this all set up to bring us to the Twilight Forest. So we spent the 13 days in the Twilight Forest, and then on the 13th day we jumped in a get out of here, you stinking bum. Leave these guys, they're just being annoying. We don't need them anyway. And so then it presumably was going to bring us back to Minecraftia. So that was part of the backstory, and I decided to have it bring us right back to the portal that brought us to the Twilight Forest, and that's this one right here, and then have it deactivated so there's no way that we can go back. Now the story being that, yeah, okay, we come back through, and we're like, oh wow, check it out, we're back. Yay, we made it back. And then there's going to be this over here, this setup, which is something I came up with thinking about, all right, what would happen if the people that I worked with from my studio, you know, because Man vs. Minecraft is produced by a studio, right? And I'm found by some staff members that were out looking for me, doing a search and rescue, you know? And then they figured out that I was here at some point, and I came up with a story that there's a village, a monk village nearby, and that they saw the hot air balloon fly overhead and then crash. And then they eventually led my staffers here. And the staffers would be Benny and Lenny, names I'm borrowing from my Tale of Kingdoms. So I figured, well, let's pretend that they came here, they found the spot, and then they waited for me for a long time. So I wanted to dress this up to make it look like they set up a camp here and waited and waited and waited, and never came back. But I've decided to accelerate time in Minecraftia. So I thought, you know what, for every 1 day spent in Twilight Forest, would be approximately 1 month here, because I wanted to find a logbook. So I have the book and quill here, and here's what's interesting is the book and quill is actually in a newer version. It didn't work in the version that I was playing with throughout the whole season, which was an older version of Twilight Forest. So it didn't have the book and the quill, so I had to go and reinstall the whole darn thing with the latest versions, just so I can get the book and quill. So now what I'm going to do is write up a logbook here, and I'm going to leave it behind. So this is from Benny and Lenny. They're going to be like, hey, we were here, we waited, we check back every now and then, you haven't come through, we hope you're alive. But we can't stay here any longer, go find the village. And then I'm going to have a little map that leads to the village. And anyway, so I'm going to have it look like they stayed here for a period of time, waiting and waiting and waiting, being vigilant. But they couldn't wait any longer, so they left. And then I'm going to come through here and find what they left for me. And I'm going to do that right now. So, well, stay tuned if you're interested, and I'll show you the place when it's done. Be right back. Poof, we're back. So here it is, the finished product. I changed the stone chairs to wood. Originally, I thought I was going to do 1 year per day. It would have been 14 years, because I was trying to come up with an explanation for why there's no more automatic healing. Because, frankly, what I wanted to do for Season 5 was use the Ultra Hardcore mod, and that prevents automatic healing, and the only way to heal is with a healing potion or a golden apple. And I thought, well, how am I going to explain that? I'm going to come back to Minecraftia from Twilight Forest, where I was automatically healing, and now I'm not. So I thought, well, maybe a whole bunch of time passes, and then something happened. Something happened while I was away, and that might come into play in the future. But so I figured, well, 14 years would be too much. Let's do 1 month per day. So, you know, about 1.5 years has passed, and the guys were here waiting for me, then they left. So I decided wooden stuff would actually survive 14 months, 15 months. And so that's what's here. So I left, so we've got a little bed here, some tables, some chairs. They blocked this off to keep the bad guys out, Lenny and Benny were here playing cards for a little while. Lenny went home, and the monks provided them with a door or something, and then they blocked that off too so they could spend some time here in relative peace. And there was also some glowstone, but those broke. Maybe they go bad over a while, you know, like light bulbs. So I figured I'd throw some glowstone in here to make it look like maybe they were taught how to make new light bulbs. So that explains all this. And then here's the welcome back, Pablo. And there's the birthday cake they left behind, which is obviously stale. They put some food in here, a fishing pole, which I didn't take, and a bowl, and then Benny's log, which I wrote, and unfortunately it puts my name on there by paulsoaresjr, so that looked totally stupid. So I tried to grab it quickly and bring it down here and be like, okay, Benny's log. And then I wrote the Benny's log. I went back in time to catch up to time, to where we are now, and I just pretended, well, okay, this is when Season 3 had ended sometime around here where we crashed, and that's when Season 4 started, and that's why Pablo was like, what? Wait a minute, how come we're in the future now, blah, blah, blah. And then I went down here, and I switched into creative mode with a zombie down here. Switched back into survival mode, rather, and they got in an immediate fight, which was kind of cool. And then, yeah, so I was like, okay, oh my god, here we are, wee! Now, I could not leave this, because, again, this is actually, well, it's the same map of the village that I found that worked out perfect for me with a village in a desert on the side of a jungle is really far away. It's about a 10-minute flight in creative mode. So that didn't work. I couldn't just run out here and go, okay, let's go, which is really what I wanted to do, but unfortunately there's nothing around here. These are large biomes. When I originally made this map, I made it large biomes, and I am just surrounded by lots of jungle, and there's no good villages nearby. There's no good anything nearby. So I had to create a, so I had to go fly around and find a village. So the plan was, I'm going to say, oh, my camera needs to be recharged. I'm going to take a nap. I'll put my camera out there. I'm going to come take a nap, and then we'll head out. So then I figured, well, Act 2 will begin outside of the cave, and I won't turn around and look at it. I'll just go. And I'll show you that right now. And that's actually when I loaded the UHC mod, the Ultra Hardcore mod. So you'll see at that point, I no longer heal with that mod. And by the way, yeah, I also had to change my armor out. Ostensibly, the magic, the Naga hide, and the iron root stuff is no longer magic. I don't think I ever mentioned that in the game while I recorded, but that's what it is. I dyed that green to make it look like Naga, but they lost their enchantment, so they're just regular armor now. So, pretty cool stuff. Let's go to Act 2 and take a look from that point of view. Alright, welcome back to Man vs. Minecraft Season 4 Finale, The Making of. So, we're just setting up here for Act 2. This is the beginning of Act 2, and I just want to make sure I can find this spot when I come back, because right now I need to set up the map. Put this way up high so I can see it. It's annoying, but got to be done. So now basically what I've done is I've loaded up, I went away from Twilight Forest, and I have now a new setup, a new folder for Minecraft now. This is the Ultra Hardcore mod. So what I want to do is head over, I want to set up this map to make it look like it was left behind by Benny, right? So as if he had done like a flyover. It would be, you know, it would be an aerial map for him. He wouldn't have been down here cutting through the jungle. So there's not going to be any torches or pathways. I'm going to have to find my way through on my own with Wilson. It's kind of a short jaunt. It's only about a 5-minute run, but with the jungle and maybe stopping here and there to eat or whatever, it might take a few minutes longer. Like, we're going to get here. This is going to be a little bit of an obstacle. So this will slow us down. I don't want this to be too fast. I want it to be a run through the jungle with rain and thunder and monsters if possible. But I want the map only to show the places I want Pablo to go, which would be like this way. Now, if I'm smart, Pablo's smart, he might go around that hill this way. and then end up here anyway. So I've got to create the map and locate the village, and I want the village to show on the map. And now the idea is to run through here, you get shot by monsters and chased and blown up. And now I'm using the ultra hardcore mod, you see? So this ultra hardcore mod does not allow, there it is, any natural healing. All right, perfect, perfect. This is good. Doesn't allow natural healing. So when I get hurt, I'm going to be really hurt, and I won't be able to eat. You know, full bellies do not repair health with the ultra hardcore mod. All right, now I have my map, and I did set up this little village here. I put some glowstone around to keep it lit up pretty well. I gave them a couple of iron golems for defense purposes. And my idea is to run over here quickly, right? And then I'm going to try to make it so I go kaboom over here. Like a creeper blows up, and then I fall, and I'm hurt, and I can't move, and I need help. And the villagers are going to see that, and they're going to come to my aid. And I'm going to have the camera off. There's going to be no video. It's just going to be audio. So you'll be able to hear. Of course, you've already seen this episode anyway, I would imagine. You'll hear what goes on. I'm going to display some sound files like footsteps, you know, shuffling feet, iron golem beating up zombies and stuff. Because now the villagers have come to my aid. They saw me in the woods and in the jungle, and they come to get me. And that's the end of it. So you'll hear me moaning and groaning, and then Wilson will be barking, and you'll hear all the shuffling feet. Doors open. They presumably carry me into a building to tend to my wounds and take care of me. And then once there, see, it's pretty short, but this was the only way I could. Man, it took me forever to find a village at the end of a jungle. And I wanted about a 5 to 8 minute run. And there it is. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna wake up in season 5 here in this village, and then I have some special stuff planned for that, which I don't want to spoil right now. So let's get everything out here. I don't want the ender pearls to work. That would make it way too easy. So I'm going to explain the ender pearls, that they don't work, and I'm not going to discover that healing doesn't work until I start running and I fall and I trip and I'm full, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck? This healing doesn't work anymore. So anyway, you probably have already seen it. If not, there's a link down below if you want to go watch that finale. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to run over there, and we're going to wrap it up, Wilson and I. So now I'm just going to switch. I think what I want to do is make the time with the sun setting somewhat. Should be right there, right? Yep. Okay, so it's on its way down. I want it to be night when I run through here. I want it to be dangerous. I want to get shot, kicked, and bit. And I want to toggle downfall. Now this, actually, I can do this in NBT edit. I'll turn on the rain and thunder. I want thunder and lightning. And I'll do that outside with an outside tool. So let's just make sure we're here. Let's do game mode first. I'm going to go to game mode 0. Alright, you can see I'm in hardcore. Oops, and we're going to set the time. I want it to be around 10,000 as soon as I start running. I'm going to talk a little bit, show you my inventory, stuff like that, and then we're going to run in the rain. So let me go get that ready. We'll see ya. Bye. Okay, see, there you go. I turned on the rain. It should be thundering here as well. And now we're ready to make the run. Here we go. Alright, welcome back. You may recognize this particular spot right here. This is where the finale, day 14, just about ended when I went out with a bang. This is the tree that I hid behind. I was hiding anyway from the villagers. Now what's interesting is I was trying to find a creeper. That was the whole purpose of the last couple of minutes. And I had to try multiple times just to get a creeper somewhere in my vicinity so that I could have him see me and then lead him over here, because the whole idea from the very beginning was I was gonna blow up with a creeper and then cut out, and then do the whole, you know, camera's broken thing. You can't see, you can only hear. So it took me a while to get a creeper finally, but I don't know if you noticed, but there was a creeper in the corner of my eyes right here. I think it was like right around here somewhere. And I actually did see it. And it was right there. But I turned this way to make it look like I didn't see it. But I really did. Just so you know. Just for the record. And then I came over here and I was like, oh, what, boy? And I looked back here because Wilson was running away, barking. And I'm like, oh, what? And that was his warning. And then I stepped out here just enough so the creeper would see me. And then I heard the sizzle. And that's when I went, no! Boom. Like that. And then I switched into creative mode and just recorded the rain. I turned the sound off of the rain right now to do this. But then I just recorded the rain and me just going, go get it, boy. Go get it, boy. Go get help, boy. And then what I did was I came over here and I put out a bunch of villagers on the sand here to make them to make the noise of them walking. And I made some iron golems over here too, so that they would walk and you'd hear their footsteps. And then I followed them closely like this as they were walking around, and I recorded a little bit of that. And then I went over to one of the buildings. It was really kind of a hassle because they were not cooperating at all. They were all getting stuck in the doors, and they would run away from me immediately because the storm would send them running for the houses. So I couldn't keep up with them fast enough. Wilson was hurt, so he was doing the whine, which was perfect. But anyway, so then eventually I went over to one of the buildings and I just popped a hole in the wall and I stood here and I just shut the video off so you couldn't see it. In Adobe, I just basically disabled the video. And I would just open up one of these walls and I would spawn in villagers, and then hopefully I wanted them to open the door, close the door, and then walk around me making some noise. Dude, you're buried. And as they did that, I had Wilson right next to me whining and barking. And that's how it ended. And the plan for Season 5, well, I'm not going to give it away. But, well, you did see that I had Ultra Hardcore mod in, which prevented automatic healing. Look at I'm playing volleyball with everything over here. That's pretty hilarious. Unfortunately, I didn't get any of that on camera. I wish I had seen some of that. That would have been cool, standing over there watching them beat the pus out of these guys. But they will be back in Season 5 as friends, you'll see. Alright, well, I guess that pretty much wraps up the making of Season 4, Day 14. And here you go, buddy. I don't want to see you hurting. And, well, we'll see you in Season 5. So, have a good one. Salute.